Hello one and all, and welcome back to more Let's Play Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. I am the Max of Few Trades. In the last part, well, when it comes to the whole, figuring out how to get this whole LaBelle guy under scrutiny and whatnot, we've made some pretty good progress, all things considered, but we also don't have a lot of answers to a lot of things, which is very unfortunate. Still don't know anything about the whole flying situation. I really thought we were going to get more into that, but apparently not. We have a lot of really good evidence, but that's just the thing. It's almost too good. Like, everything I'm holding on to almost feels like it's too sure of a thing. Like, there has to be some sort of big wrinkle in the entire situation, because as is, it almost feels like this is just like a super huge slam dunk. So I'm mentally prepared for things to not go well. Something has to go horribly wrong. Let's see what. I'ma do my best. Oh, yo. Ordinarily, we have like a bit of a thing before the courts, but not so much. I see them peeking over there. Hello. Court is back in session for the trial of Damien Tenma, who sometimes likes to pretend that he has a demon possessing him in order to protect his daughter, who also thinks she has a demon possessing her. It's a whole thing. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. Athena Sykes, assistant defender, is ready too, Your Honor. Je suis prêt. I cannot speak your fancy language, Athena. As chipper as ever, I see. And in French, no less. I don't know what it means, but it sounds so fancy. And the prosecution? Oh, he's got new shackles. I'm sure he totally won't break them. Very well then. By the way, he's like, all right, yeah, we pretty much have, we've got you figured out by this point, so like, whatever, man. I asked Detective Fulbright to provide sturdier shackles today. There'll be no more of your funny business this time, Prosecutor Blackwell. Big doubt. I have all of the doubt in the universe. More nonsense will ensue. This is such a weird prosecutor, and I know I'm saying that in this franchise of all things, but like, I'm having a hard time getting a read on this dude. You know, the insurmountable blockade of getting over the fact that he is a convicted killer who is allowed to be a prosecutor. I don't know, like, that's already a challenge in of itself, but I don't understand what he's even doing here. Like, I don't get him. And he's got a bird. Anyway. Now, your opening statement, if you would. Like, I don't know how to feel about him, which is weird. I usually know how I feel about a prosecutor. But I'm sure we'll, like, learn more things, and I'll have a better understanding later. I believe it's standard procedure for the prosecution to handle it, and yet somehow, he will not. That's another thing. It's like, he's going through all the trouble to be a prosecutor, but he also doesn't want to do the things that a prosecutor does. It's weird. Looks like the judge is really bringing it today. He probably realized how Blackwell played him. That was one mean game, as Simon says. They're proud of that joke. Yeah, His Honor has to fight to defend his honor today. And he will fail! I like the judge. Amazing guy. That's not a battle he's ever winning. Your baldness. Gugwe. Thinky. Oh, right, yeah, British. He doesn't sound or look like a guy who would be British. Anyway. It's plain to see that you've always dreamed of delivering an epic opening statement. I have? Huh. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that. I feel like I would know myself a little better than that. Why, of course you have. I saw it in your eyes the last time you gave the opening statement. That was the look of one who yearns deeply for the thrill of an epic opening statement. For decades now, you have been watching opening statements from your bench. They were the crown jewels of the court. The one thing you could not possess. The crown jewels of the court? What? Now, at long last, they are within your grasp. How could you possibly refuse? So it can't be like general purpose laziness, because all the things he just said took more effort than just giving an opening statement. It's so weird. Why is he this way? So you don't mind if I do it then? I'll make a special exception. Just this once. Here we go again. Yeah, more of Blackwell's mind games. I guess he just gets a thrill out of manipulating people, which is distressing. Well, in that case, I think I might go ahead and make the opening statement myself. In yesterday's session, we learned the shocking truth that the victim, Alderman Rex Kyubi, was the amazing Ninetales. Yeah, it was a real shock. Everyone was absolutely flabbergasted. I say, knowing that everybody was actually flabbergasted for some reason. Anyway, the amazing Ninetales was a key figure in the yokai craze and anti-merger protests. It was further revealed that upon learning Rex Kyubi's secret identity, Mayor Damien Tenma murdered him. Allegedly. Allegedly! The fact that the crime took place in a tightly locked room was also brought to light. And the only people in that tightly locked room were the defendant and victim. The defense proposed the existence of a hypothetical third party, but I'm not convinced! But further investigation revealed no proof of a third party who had escaped the room. Give me time! Ergo, I say Britishly, we must conclude that the evidence against the defendant is, well, conclusive. Slam jam! Did I say something wrong? That was quite astonishing. You've truly outdone yourself this time. One more thing to boast about to my grandchild. He seems like a great grandpa. Well, this was not an unexpected turn of events. We foresaw this! It was written in the stars. Now then, it seems the prosecution has called a new witness to testify. The inexplicable yokai evidence left at the scene of the crime. Well, does that not demand some sort of explanation? The feathers and tracks? Weren't those left by the mayor while he was possessed? Which is, I guess, what we're going with. That was but an act to protect his daughter. Oh, yeah, of course. I had suspected as much. You made him think that... Man, the mind games. Wait, did he actually believe the mayor's award-winning performance? To be fair, I was emotionally moved by it. The character journey, it was something to behold. His daughter was the one who planted the yokai evidence. Ergo, the true identity of the yokai in the manor was the manor's maid, Jinxie Tenma.
Objection!
That's a crock-a-load of bullcrap, and I'm gonna prove it somehow. The prosecution is engaging in mere conjecture. Would you care for some witness testimony then? Yes, I can actually make progress if I pick holes in that stuff. So, yeah, I do want that. Also, quit freaking out your bird, for I am ready to prove that the little scamp is the one behind the Tenmataro farce. Witness testimony. I'll bet he means Filch and that creep LaBelle. Big time. Very well then. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness? We going with Filch? Yeah, I guess we are. We're seeing this guy so much more than I thought we would. It's weird. Mr. Filch, you made quite the hasty exit yesterday. See that it doesn't happen again today. To be fair, a hawk was attempting to eat his face. So, I mean, like, yeah, no, you're not supposed to flee from a court of law, but a hawk was trying to eat his face. So, yeah. Been known for my hasty retreat since I was a kid. Bit of a trademark of mine. Weird thing to be proud of, but okay. You managed to give a total of 5 bailiffs the slip. Like those amateurs could ever have me. Slam jam! Yeah, Jesus. Perhaps we should shackle you by the neck. That would keep you in place. Yipes! No, please! I'm liable to rip my own head off if I start running. Ooh, morbid, gross, and creepy. Your statement? Now? Why? I have to give the animation, like, I was already giving it credit, but he really do have those bird movements down. It's kind of off-putting. Yes, sir, Mr. Blackhead, sir. Ha! I don't even know if that burn was on purpose, but that was good. You may beat a hasty retreat, but there's no escaping Prosecutor Blackwell. Despite being in custody, what up? Blackwell doesn't strike me as the give-up easy type. That's the thing. He feels way too aloof to be this dedicated. Now then, Mr. Filch, your testimony, please. Specifically, the true nature of the yokai you saw in the manor shortly after the crime. Alrighty. What's he gotta say? He's not very good at any of this, so I should be able to work my way through it. Tenmataro's really that little maid gal. Ain't no doubt about it. I mean, the Tenmataro I saw was just a little thing about her size. Failed to mention that before. Weird, isn't it? But the little runt had a big old staff. I seen her when she came into the... Betcha she stole it from the Forbidden Chamber after stumbling on the crimes. Okay, well, there you go. That's the part right there. That's what I gotta use. She was gonna use it to wallop me on account of my fierce reputation. I just know it. There's no way in hell that man is even 4 feet tall. So Tenma was short in stature. And that's because it was Miss Jinxie Tenma all along. You betcha. Besides, all the rest in the manor were way taller than her. Okay. Feigning height is but an easy thing. So I am told. But a big ox like the defendant could never pass for short. What if the Tenma impersonator was walking on their knees? Then it would be incredibly hard and painful to get out of there. I understand what we're trying to do, but I don't think that's it, buddy. We're no knee walking. I've seen it myself. You've seen knee walking? Then perhaps that yokai really was Miss Tenma after all. All monsters are naught but tricks, either of the mind or the cheap parlor variety. I don't know. There's a whole lot of humans who make far worse monsters than any work of fiction could ever hope to accomplish, if I'm honest with you. So you're saying she created an illusion, like one of those magical eye things that I see on my soup cans? Precisely. Human senses are easily deceived. Take the fellow in the cell next to me. Each night he cries and screams about some ghost he thinks he sees. But in truth, it was simply the janitor. Huh. Okay. Prosecutor Blackwell just gave up the ghost. Literally. We have fun in the courtroom. The janitor's deathly complexion and all-white attire are no doubt partially to blame. That and the fact that he constantly mutters about taking vengeance for this or that. That actually sounds like a real ghost to me. Maybe you're just in denial, Blackwell. You ever consider that? God. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. I don't gotta do any old dang thing. I can just get right to it. I already know how this don't make any damn sense. Alright, it's gotta be the maid gal. She's a crazy person. And she don't sleep. Look, you can't trust someone with bags under their eyes. Yeah, anyway, alright. Bet she stole it from the Forbidden Chamber. Alright, so, admittedly, at the same time, while this is the obvious contradiction, how did you know about that? That combined with the fact that apparently it had to be somebody short, I guess, there's more to this than I thought there was. But yeah, no, it's gotta be, yeah, there's only one, so.
Objection!
Yeah, no, I don't friggin' think so, buckaroo. It would seem that Tenma was in fact not this innocent little girl. How you figure that? You claim the Tenma you saw had one of those staves from the Forbidden Chamber. But it would have been impossible for Miss Tenma to get a hold of one. Care to elaborate, Mr. Justice? The mayor swallowed this key shortly after the murder. Hardcore, quite frankly. He wanted to keep the killer out. Oh, right, no, I was trying to remember, I was like, wait, how did we get it out? He regurgitated it. That's the preferable option. He wanted to keep the killer out of the Forbidden Chamber. What's this? What, did you not know? This key was deep in the mayor's stomach when Miss Tenma discovered the crime scene. So you see, it would have been impossible for her to get into the Forbidden Chamber. In short, the Tenma seen holding that staff could not have been Jinxie Tenma. Also, why does Filch know about the staffs being in there? A rare triple whammy. Neat. Then who does the defense believe was impersonating Tenma? Our Tenma impersonator is other than the mayor Tenma's.
Objection!
See, now I'm not so sure. Unless he's lying about the height thing, which he could be, but if he's not... such accusations beg evidence. Aside from his ghastly appearance, can you prove he is the yokai we seek? Yes, in fact, I can. I mean, yeah, we can. I mean, yeah? Then yeah, he must just be bullcrapping. Yeah, okay, so I think the situation here really is just, Filch is just more in on all of this than I thought he was. I thought he was way more of a bystander. Okay, no, I think he just played way more of a role. Okay, that would be why. Very well, let's see where the defense is going with this. Mr. Justice, please show us proof as to the true identity of the Tenma impersonator. It's the cream, right? Yes it is.
Take that!
This was the thing we found in the place. We found this hand cream in the Forbidden Chamber. And we know that whoever was Tenma took one of the staffs out of there. In short, I believe whoever this hand cream belongs to is the yokai impersonator we're looking for. But Mr. Justice, How do you propose to identify the hand cream's owner? Well, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. It kind of has an exclusivity deal. I'm glad you asked, Your Honor. The defense requests a fingerprint analysis on this piece of evidence. Huh. It might tell us who it belongs to. Interesting. I've never heard of such mystical arts. So, you expect to find the yokai's prints there? I mean, somebody's at least. Very well. I hereby call a short recess while we wait for the fingerprint results. No need for that, Your Baldness. We have the prints of everyone at the manor that day. I guess you just thought ahead on that one. Whoop, didn't mean to hit that button. You called, Prosecutor Blackwell? Could anyone be more whipped? Damn. Damn. Fool Bright, analyze this for prints. You have 3 minutes. Your wish is my command. Aren't you supposed to be in charge of him? Ugh. Very well then, I guess we'll just wait right here. Anybody see any movies? It would seem the fingerprint analysis is complete. What do the results show? What in the world? They're Florent LaBelle's prints, aren't they? This is absurd! Prosecutor Blackwell? I'm not going to like this, am I? Okay, no, yeah, alright. That's interesting. So the whole, yeah, knowing of the stabs thing was more than it was meant to be. Gotcha. Don't tell me they're Ten Mataro's prints. I doubt those are on file. Also, do birds even have fingerprints? I don't think they do. Fingerprint analysis has revealed that the prints belong to... Bum! 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 Phineas Filch!
Objection!
Wait, what? What?! That Mr. LaBelle wasn't the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber?
Objection!
Yeah. Why, you tricksy little Tanuki! Explain yourself now! Sure, them prints are mine. I mean, I did pilfer that hand cream from Mr. LaBelle after all. I mean, I'm sure, no, I'm not sure. I know LaBelle is the killer. So you're the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber? So what if I did? You got a problem with it? Ah, it's a bird in my face! You fool of a Tanuki! I just realized he's standing on a box. That's really funny. Order in the court! Mr. Justice, care to explain what this could mean? Excellent question! The fact that Mr. Filch was in the Forbidden Chamber... Wait a second. Does this mean the Ten Mataro holding that staff was Phineas Filch? Yay! Another cat out of the bag! Mr. Filch is Ten Mataro? Actually, considering what we learned about his grandpa, I guess this makes sense? I guess? I mean, it kinda has to, I suppose. Unless he's lying. He could be. I don't understand. Does this mean Mr. Filch is the real killer? No, it doesn't mean that much. The witness will explain himself this instant. Begging your pardon, Your Honorship, but I was just doing what the alderman told me. He wanted me to be Ten Mataro in the village exorcism ritual. Why did I never even think to wonder who was in that costume? I didn't even question it. I just thought it, for some reason, I don't know, I thought it was just some unimportant, unnamed actor guy or something? I don't know. I really should have thought about that. Oh, you mean that event at the Nine Tails Vale Festival? So that was you inside the Ten Mataro costume? Yep. And after the event, I went to watch the pro wrestling program. But it bored me to tears on account of the wrestlers being complete jobbers. Real jabronis. So I didn't watch the entire wrestling match. That's when I looked at the Ten Mataro costume and got a great idea. Nobody can tell it's me while I'm wearing it. And because of them superstitions, no matter what I do, the villagers won't say a word. In other words, you use the superstitions to effectively render yourself invisible. Why did you want to enter the Forbidden Chamber in the first place? That's also a pretty solid question. Because of the treasure there. That was my big chance to sneak on in and nab it. Treasure? Only that it's the greatest get-rich-quick chance in the universe. Grandpappy told me all about it. Said there's an amazing treasure in there. I mean, we were in there and... Actually, wait, no, I mean, then... Wait, yeah, no, wait, hold on a goddamn second. Your grandpa already took it. Why would you go in there? You went in there not knowing his grandfather had already pilfered. Did we not heavily imply that to him? Did we not show him the figure that we found? That's kind of what I guess that's one tale that didn't get passed down from grandpappy to grandson. Wait, how exactly did you get into the Forbidden Chamber? Probably that vent that we noticed but didn't seem to actually take note of. That was weird of us, if I'm honest with you. It seemed pretty important. There was a meeting in the Fox Chamber that day. Plus, the mayor swallowed the only key that could open the Forbidden Chamber's door. You couldn't have possibly gotten in. I could through the air vent in the floor. Wait, that's what the... I thought that was the one... Well, I guess that's not really... Would a stairwell count as a hallway? I don't think so. The vent left of the alderman's picture. I went on in and made a nice little hole. Use that to get into the air duct that leads to the Forbidden Chamber. Wait, so you dug a hole through the house? Like an alternate route through the vents? How did you do that? You what? But how's that even possible? Wait a sec. Remember that air vent in the Forbidden Chamber? Yeah, I thought I was the only one that seemed to care. So Mr. Filch found a way to get into that air duct. We really, honestly, truly should have sent one of us through that thing to see where it led. It's weird we didn't. And that's how he got from the foyer event to the Forbidden Chamber vent. Weird. So Tenmataro was nothing more than a cat burglar. Or rather a Tanuki burglar. At least he's not a Tanuki burger. That'd be disturbing. And we're back to being without anyone to charge for the alderman's murder. Looks like our so-called yokai is nothing more than one big troublemaker. Tell me, Mr. Filch, what did you do after fleeing to the foyer? I got out of that costume right quick. Would have just caused trouble at that point. And where's that costume now? Heck if I know. And it ain't my fault if you never find it. The police searched every nook and cranny. Even the suspicious ones? Oh my god. No yokai costume was left in that manner. What if it was tossed outside? Oh. Well, I'm gonna be honest, that feels like a very anticlimactic answer to that question. But, okay, sure. Yeah. I figured it out. There's no way. But maybe. Just maybe? Maybe? It's possible. The defense seems to hit upon an idea. Well, go on, Mr. Justice. God knows I got nothing. Okay, here's what I think. Mr. Filch, did you get rid of the costume here? All right, so I have been informed that this is, in fact, a window. So, take that. There you go. Did you toss it out the window? Because that would certainly explain why it didn't turn up inside the manor. You think I tossed it out the window? That costume cost me a pretty penny. You're sweating a lot for someone who is telling me I'm wrong. So why would I go and do something like that? I can think of a few reasons, mostly not wanting to be caught with the damn costume. Any bright ideas, Apollo? Well, assuming the costume really was tossed out from the window, then the next question would be, what happened to it after that? Apparently it got caught in an updraft is what it got. If I'm right, I might just have the thing to prove what happened to the costume. Phineas Filch, I have just the evidence for you. You do? I guess I do. The evidence, I really thought this was going to be a way bigger part of all of this than it turned out to be. That is unfortunate.
Take that!
But yeah, all right. Mystery solved. It's just a costume fluttering through the breeze. It must have worked like a damn parachute or something. I don't know how it got so high up. That's Tenmataro flying through the sky? And just how does that prove Mr. Filch threw his costume out the window? It's quite simple. That's not Tenmataro in the photo. It's the costume Mr. Filch threw out. Oh, that's crazy talk. You ain't serious, are ya? Well, I mean, I admit it's stupid, but it's far from the dumbest thing we've ever experienced, so I'm buying it. There's a steep cliff right outside the full high window, meaning the manor is pretty high. I forgot about that part. You're right. Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, I still feel like an updraft might have played some bit of a role. That thing's all the way over to Kyoto, or I guess Nevada in the English version. The costume flew through the air after it was tossed out. That's when the photo was taken. In other words, the photo of Tenmataro really was a flight of fancy. What? Yikes! I love this series so much. It's so goddamn dumb in the greatest of ways. Oh my, so there really never was a yokai. Aw, I can't keep any of them cats bagged. Can I still file a claim for the lost costume? I'm pretty sure you've committed some kind of crimes at this point, so like, I don't know, probably not your biggest concern right now. This more than proves the defense's position. Jinxie Tenma had nothing to do with staging the yokai sighting. Care to raise any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? Yeah. Oh, none whatsoever. Alright, then he probably has something to say about something else. I'll deal with that tricksy Tanuki after I've dealt with this case. Yeah! We did it? Well, we did one thing. There's still other things we gotta do. Yeah, there we go. Athena, keeping us on track. Good going. Now all we gotta do is make Florent LaBelle take the stand.
Objection!
About what? Thonka-thinka. Sheathing the sword a bit early, are we not? Eh? Nothing has been proven beyond a doubt. Take this tricksy little Tanuki, for instance. How do you suppose he was able to exit the Forbidden Chamber? Probably the same way he got in. Through the chamber's air vent. Well, no, then that wouldn't explain why anybody saw them running, you know, Jinxie and whatnot. And what are the feathers and tracks at the scene of the crime? They would suggest that the Tanuki exited through the chamber door, not the air vents.
Objection!
Okay, but the Forbidden Chamber doesn't open from the inside. So what you're saying makes no sense. Right? Bro. Someone on the outside opened the door for you. Isn't that right? Yeah, that's right, Mr. Blackjack. The door suddenly sprung right open.
Hold it!
Sprung right open? Who was on the other side? Didn't get a good look on account of the sudden glare. Also the fact that I had a big crow mask on my head. It was hard to see much of anything. That kind of obscures your vision a little bit. Like how the reflection from my head blinds fellow moviegoers emerging from the dark. God, I want a day in the life of the judge so badly. He has to have the coolest, weirdest life. That's when I snatched that staff and made my daring escape. Why did you snap? I guess he just likes taking stuff, but that still seems kind of random. And that little maid gal spotted me as I hightailed it down the hall. That means the Forbidden Chamber wasn't open until after the crime was discovered. But wait, we still don't know who opened it. I mean, there's literally only one person who could have. Maybe there really was a third person in the Fox Chamber.
Objection!
What do you object to? I'm a bird. Well, you little Tanuki. When the Forbidden Chamber opened, did you see the accused passed out there? Nope. Only one there was the alderman, and he was dead as a doornail. If the accused wasn't there, what do you suppose he was up to? Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. Oh, don't tell me! Plainly, the only one who could have opened the Forbidden Chamber was the accused Damien Tenma. Ah! It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We still got...
Hold it!
Oh, okay, we got gas in the tank, and Athena ain't taking that. Wait a second! There has to be somebody else besides Mayor Tenma there. Really? Who might that be? Oh, well, that would be...
Objection!
Man, why don't we ever get to say things? Seems our feisty little lass has forgotten the most important thing. Evidence. I didn't forget. I was just testing your attention to details. Oh, Athena. Miss Sykes, you can't prove your point without proof of some sort. It's a proven fact that you have to prove your facts with proof. Yeah. Sorry. Guess I put my foot in my mouth again. No, Athena, we're definitely onto something here. We are? I had no idea. Think about it. If Filch was stuck inside the Forbidden Chamber, one of the alibis we heard would no longer hold any water. There we go. That's the little wiggle room we need. Right. They were basically covering for each other. The defense would like to call a new witness to the stand. Someone who knew Mr. Filch was stuck in the Forbidden Chamber. And by virtue of knowing this, has an alibi that no longer adds up. Not that insufferable. Yes, that insufferable! Very well. The court will hear what Mr. Justice has to say. Whose alibi no longer adds up? Obviously, the answer is Phoenix Wright. Why is he even here? 34, man, that's crazy to me. Anyway, a brilliant former defense attorney who's supposed to be in retirement, but no longer! Anyway, this creepy so-and-so.
Take that!
Why, that's the defendant's aide, Florent LaBelle. He's incredibly creepy and disturbing. He has all the makings of a murderer. Didn't he claim to be in the Florent at the time of the crime? I mean, he could, yeah. True, but in his alibi, he also claimed Mr. Filch was in the Florent too. However, as we all know now, Mr. Filch was not there with Mr. LaBelle at that time. So, you know, lies and stuff. In short, Mr. LaBelle's alibi has disappeared. Broggle! Florent LaBelle's alibi was one big lie. Isn't that right, Mr. Filch? I reckon there ain't no keeping that cat in the bag here neither. Why the hell would I keep lying at this point? It was all Mr. LaBelle's idea. He told me he'd button his lip about me breaking into the forbidden chamber. And in return, he said we'd vouch for each other's alibi. Shame on you, Mr. Filch. Perjury is a serious crime, you know. Judge, I can't think of a single witness we've had on the stand that didn't openly lie. I mean, sometimes not intentionally, sure, but a lot of the times it was intentional lying. Aw, shucks. I'm going to prison. You're a mercy, your honorship, mercy. Ah, it's a bird, it's a bird, there's a bird in the face! I also assert that the person who opened the Forbidden Chamber for Mr. Filch was none other than Florent LaBelle. After all, his alibi has just been proven to be a complete fabrication. I see. We will take a 20-minute recess, after which time we will see what Mr. LaBelle has to say for himself. Yeah! We're finally gonna drag that slippery snake onto the stand. Let's friggin' go! In the meantime, the prosecution will question Mr. LaBelle about these new allegations. That's always one of the hardest parts in these cases, is just getting the damn person on the stand. Once they're there, oh, we can make things happen. Whew-wee. All right then. So far, so good. We did it, Apollo! Smile! We finally dragged Mr. LaBelle into court. Yeah. Hey, why the long face? You ain't no horseman. I can't help but feel I'm missing something important. Plus, Prosecutor Blackwell's bound to mount a counterattack. You really are a worrywart, aren't you? It'll be fine. I don't know if it's gonna be fine, actually. That mystery figure who opened the Forbidden Chamber for Mr. Filch had to have been Florent LaBelle. Well, yes, logically, of course, but, you know, again, everything seems too easy up to this point, you know? I know, but that's not what's bugging me. I wish I could put my finger on it, though. At any rate, the big showdown with Mr. LaBelle is up next, so chin up, Apollo. Yes. Wouldn't do us any good to hang our head down low. That just gives you horrible, horrible neck problems. Trust me, I can speak from experience. Okay, all right, let's go. Why is his hair green now? They did that on purpose. I saw that. Court is back in session. Our next witness is, oh my God. You know, at first I thought that it could have just been a coincidence, but no. He is deliberately homaging the Joker here. Like, it was already unsubtle, but there was a tiny sliver of doubt. You know, oi. Yes, I'm acting on behalf of the mayor in this very important matter. It seems the witness is predisposed at the moment. Surely you jest. I will hold you to your promise. Remember that, or I'll kill you. Just a joke, unless... Oh my God. Thank you. Oh, my deepest apologies, except not really. This is Florent LaBelle, personal aide to Mayor Tenma. Or should I say, the accused. Ugh. Like the poor mayor hasn't suffered enough. Yeah, well, we're about to suffer through this dude talking. Well, what business do you have with me? I'm a very busy man, so let's make this as brief as possible. Ugh. Your baldness, I hate every aspect of this. Can I go home? And yes, I know my home is a jail cell. Right. Mr. Filch's testimony has revealed a hole in your alibi. And for this reason, you are suspected of having some sort of connection with the case at hand. To think I'd be associated with this entirely lurid affair. Hang on, I've got more phone calls. Well, I'm not. So may I go now? I have very important matters to attend to.
Objection!
Yeah, no, we ain't letting you get away with any of that. I don't think so, Mr. LaBelle. Do you realize what a serious crime you've committed? Witness, you are being accused of perjury. He's about to be accused of a whole lot more. This is your chance to clear the air. Do you think this man has ever had clear air around him his entire life? No, he's in a constant fume cloud of cologne. All right, I don't need any of that. Fine. The truth is I faked my alibi for a very good reason. The The mayor was obviously the killer, so I created a fake alibi to confuse the matter. You see, as his personal aide, I felt I had to protect him. Sorry! You think this is funny? Without your alibi, you're a suspect too, dumbass! What were you really doing at the time of the crime? Peasant! How dare you accuse me, one of the beautiful people of being— Objection, Your Honor! This dude is ugly as sin! That would be so funny. Stop stalling and tell the court what you were really doing at the time of the crime.
Silence.
Don't tell me what to do, asshole! Then everybody really did get quiet. Enough jabbering. Swords have been drawn. The time for talk is past. I keep wanting to give him this more serious, deeper voice, but no, he's British. Not even deep British, he's just British. Swords? What swords? This is a duel to the death. The fate of the accused rests in our hands. Be gone, ye of cowardly heart. The battlefield hath no place for ye. Again? Oh my. Spare me, please! What is even the point of those goddamn shackles anymore? Are they the ones used in all, like, court stuff? Because, like, damn, they suck. So much for sturdier shackles. Yeah, why? Why are you this way? Those chains hindered my vow that heads would roll this day. I want to murder people! This gives keeping your head on in court a whole new meaning. Bird, will the witness please deliver the accused its death knell? You know what I speak. Oh, most certainly. His goose is already cooked. Time to stick a fork in him. Bold of you to think you could ever defeat a goose in combat. Whatever he has to say can't be good. As I told Prosecutor Blackwell during the recess, I rushed right over to the Fox chamber when I heard little Jinxie scream. Then, drum roll please. Oh, alright, I can do that much. Yeah, there we go. That's the one courtesy I'll afford you. I saw Mayor Tenma opening the forbidden chamber doors. But, there you have it. No sense in asking questions. We win. The mystery man who opened the chamber door, as witnessed by one Phineas Filch. It was the accused. There was never any third party. Oh, and that's not all. I heard something quite startling there at the scene of the crime. Startling sounds bad. I don't like bad. The mayor, who was barely conscious, muttered this. Oh, forgive me, Jinxie. I killed the alderman. That's right. The mayor actually confessed to the murder right then and there. All right. So on one hand, that is bad for us. Yes. But on a different hand, this does really prove that he was involved in all of this. I think we can use this. Order in the court! This is quite conclusive testimony if it stands. So it's a good thing it's probably not gonna. Just so. And quite astonishing, I might add. I only learned of this fact during the recess. I just love surprises, don't you? No, I really don't. That's why I saved the best for last. Consider it a gift from me to you. No way. I don't believe Mr. LaBelle heard the mayor confess. But is this really true? Did Mayor Tenma really confess? I mean, I don't know why we need to believe him. It is indeed. During that last recess, I confirmed it with the mayor's daughter. Damn it. Okay. It would seem Mayor Tenma actually did confess. Alright, so now I gotta figure out how to get that all sorted. I admit I actually don't know. Anyway, that testimony is quite favorable to the prosecutions. This is LaBelle. Yes, I called earlier about the party reservations. That's right. Yes, balloon animals aplenty. I require giraffes. Yeah, I'll be calling my little shindig Mayor Tenma's conviction gala. A splendid time is guaranteed for all but the mayor in his defense. And nobody thinks that's weird? Well, as it seems, our witness is a very busy man, getting ready to celebrate his boss going to prison. Yeah, okay. Let's get right to his testimony. Mr. Bell, please tell us what you saw when you came upon the scene of the crime. Alrighty, I just need a little itty bitty little bit of a hole and I can make a big old problem out of it. I was in the hallway, hiding in the shadows. And nobody thinks that's weird. That's when I heard the confession. Upon learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever noticing me. Immediately after that, the mayor came to, stood up and opened the forbidden chamber. As I ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right, to the one with the phone at the end. Okay, well, none of this works at all, actually. I must say, this is a shocking revelation. Quite unexpected. To think the defendant actually confessed then and there to his crime. Perhaps the guilt was too much to bear, so he confided in his daughter, who may be very short or kneeling down. I still don't know. You do realize you should not have withheld such crucial testimony from the court. You smell bad. Once again, sorry. It's just I feared being accused if I mentioned coming upon that most unpleasant scene. Ugh. Why did the mayor's confession have to be brought up by this guy? Because he's the only guy left. We better do something before the judge declares the mayor guilty. Good news! I already have something I can do with this. As a death row inmate once told me in years gone by. There's a time to fight and a time to yield. A time to live and a time to die. Ugh. He's laying it on real thick now. Yeah, he's a little up his own butt. This man really do buy into his own hype. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. All right. This is pretty clear cut. I don't think we got to do anything fancy here. Because, don't we have, if I remember, if this guy will stop his yapping. Hold up, don't I have... After leaving the scene and calling the police, they pass each other at a bend in the hall as he made for the party. He was carrying his staff like it and she couldn't call for help because there was no one else in the hall. Yeah, that should be it, I think. All right, hang on. Hold up. All right, upon blah, 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 blah. Immediately after that, the mayor came to, stood up and opened the forbidden chamber door. As I ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right. Okay, so here's the thing. If that's the case, then why didn't she see you? You dumbass.
Objection!
What? Did you not account for that? Were you not paying attention to everything that was happening beforehand? Florent LaBelle, you're lying about having witnessed these events from the hallway. What on earth do you mean? Yeah, scared to fill the rest of us in, Mr. Justice? Yeah, well, we kinda have to. If Mr. LaBelle had really fled down into the hall with a phone in it, he would have crossed paths with Miss Tenma. What's this? After she discovered the crime scene, she immediately went to call the police. Then, after making her call, she went back to the main hallway. Whereupon, she encountered the demon, yokai, or whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really matter to me. Either way, if you were running in terror of the demon, then she would have noticed. As for me, I call it Phineas Filch in a Tenma Taro costume. The encounter happened right here where the hallways meet. Literally nowhere else to go, yo. As for Mr. LaBelle, if he had fled here, fighting escape from the yokai imposter, then, yeah. Why? Yeah, the two would have crossed paths, actually. And Filch definitely would have saw something. Right, except Miss Tenma told us that there was no one else in the hall. In short, Miss Tenma did not see you in the hall because you were never really there. Whoa. My eyes! My beautiful eyes! Oh, that's good. Ha! Not such a fabulous set now, is it? I mean, to be fair, it always kind of smelled like burnt rubber. I don't know why he's so enthralled with it. But Mr. Justice, the witness also stated that he heard the mayor confess. If he was lying about hearing the confession from the hall, could he have been lying about everything? Then where was he when he heard it? Inside the Fox Chamber. Where else? It's literally the only place he could be. But isn't that within the very crime scene? Yes, sirree. It is, Your Honor. And that means he's not really a witness. Rather, he's the third party I've been alleging this whole time. What? You think I'm the killer? How dare you?
Silence.
Man, why has it always gotta be that way? Foolish fop. A true man knows when he is beaten. A shield of lies comes to naught before a foe with the sword of truth bared. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you? I thought we were on the same side. You are mistaken. There are no sides here, save for my cold, steely edge of judgment. He do be very judgmental, this much is true. You are alone upon this battlefield, with naught but your lies and sickly sweet perfume. Oh, what do you know? He does have sweat glands. I was very actually certain that he didn't have those anymore. Whoa, what just happened? Blackwell's really tearing into him. Hey, let's not complain, it works for us. You heard the mayor's confession from the inside, did you not, you deviant dandy? He's got away with words, can't say he don't. For the sole location from which you could have seen and heard the mayor and the Tanuki. Without either of them noticing, you were right there in the fox chamber. Spritza, spritza, spratza, spratza. Oh my. So that's how it's going to be. Fine, I'll come clean then. Seriously? No, not seriously. You admit to being there in the fox chamber? I do! I did enter the room after the murder. But I was afraid of being falsely accused, so I lied about it. I feel terrible about lying like that. But it's a verbal cologne I use to protect myself. That's stupid! You better explain yourself, Mr. LaBelle. Why would you go in to the murder scene? Yes, of course, I was just about to get to that. The witness is skating on thin ice. I'll remind you that perjury is a very serious crime. Now let's hear your testimony again, this time without your perfume of lies. Oy, you know the entire room smells way worse with him in it. All right, now what do we got? I did enter the fox chamber after the murder, but I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I just kind of stood there blankly for no goddamn reason and then wandered into a murder scene because I felt like it, I guess. Like, what? I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there. Why? Why would you do that? As far as you knew, there was a murderer in there. Why would you hide? That's dumb. What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying. So you see, I was there, but merely watching from behind the screen. Why are we not asking why? From behind the screen? Well, yes, I believe you wouldn't be spotted if you were there. Just so. He could see everything without being spotted by the victim of that Tanuki Filch. Suffice to say, he was a mere witness to the events rather than an actual third party. Why is no one bringing up that it's weird he went in? This guy's as slippery as an eel. Apollo! You think he's telling the truth? No! Well, he was in the fox chamber, so at least that much must be true. Alright, the defense may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness. Alright, you know what? We'll take that. Alright, well, I didn't notice anything obvious, so let's see here. I did enter the fox chamber after the murder, but I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and okay, can we be told why?
Hold it!
Why would you go in there? Why didn't you enter right away? Why'd you go in at all? And ruin my designer shoes? Your shoes? Even now, just thinking about getting blood on my fabulous footwear, that makes even less. You just... If you went in after the murder, then you would have run the risk of getting blood on your suit. It sends chills down my spine. That's why I hesitated.
Objection!
This is stupid! That's terrible! A man was dying and another injured and you were worried about your shoes?
Silence.
Need I remind you, this is a court of law. We are not teaching morality here, are we? Aren't we? In a grand sense, I think that is what we're doing, actually. You know, with crimes never prevailing and justice always being seen through. I do believe these are morality tales. We have schools of etiquette and the like for such trivial pursuits. Gah! That's stupid! Now you listen to me, you deceptive dandy. Get to the point and be quick about it. Yes, well, I was there in the fox chamber. I guess the idea is that he ran in to help, but then immediately hit. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep pressing stuff. I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen.
Hold it!
Okay, but why'd you do it? Wait a second. Why'd you hide yourself? Oh my, so you do understand. I do. By hiding, I was concealing my fabulous beauty, which, for the sake of the universe, is something I should never ever do. That's what you were thinking, right? I'm sensing a black hole of egocentricity forming around the witness stand. It's fairly impressive. I thought I noticed a space-time distortion. Hey, we could deliberate his mental process another time. You could do that on your own time, maybe. Get on with the testimony. Well, regarding the murder scene, I'ma just keep pressing, is what I'ma keep doing. What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying. All right, then fine. What did you see? Maybe you'll say something wrong. Could you describe the crime scene in a bit more detail? And what exactly would you like details about? Well, what I'd like to ask you about is the feathers and tracks, the forbidden chamber. Oh, yeah. No, we've got a little tricky trap over here. Yeah. Yeah, no, we can make use of this. Could you describe the state of the weapons that had been used at the scene? The spear had been thrust all the way through Alderman Kyubi. I got all up in that corpse to see what was what. Then there was that statue the alderman used to bludgeon Mayor Tenma. That incredibly inspiring symbol had fallen to the floor. You don't say. All right, the statue. Why would he find it inspiring? Because he saw it. Why exactly did you find the statue inspiring? Well, when I saw that statue, I felt as if the merger had been realized. It was like a celebration of union between town and village, an inspiring symbol of goodwill. A broken statue next to a bloody corpse? Yeah, real inspiring. Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider a statement to be of any importance? Is it important? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's important. Quite so. I believe this to be extremely important. I request that it be added to the testimony so that I may present it. A statue had fallen to the floor. It was a token of goodwill celebrating the municipal merger. Yeah, you want to explain how you knew what it looked like when only one person knew what it looked like?
Objection!
You liar. You stinky liar. And I mean that literally and figuratively. Your lies have finally betrayed you, Mr. LaBelle. What possibly could you mean? You said the statue was like a celebration of union between town and village. Isn't that correct? It is indeed. But what of it? The two yokai are joining hands in goodwill, as if they were celebrating the municipal merger. Something the matter? Yeah. So, how'd you really know that this statue was meant to be a symbol of goodwill again? What? Justice, don't know. Explain yourself, and make it quick. I don't know, I kind of like this smug air I have about myself, but okay. The statue was meant to symbolize goodwill in its original form, but that was a secret. A secret? Whatever do you mean? What I mean is that it broke when someone used it to strike Mayor Tenma on the head. Explain that! What's left clearly makes it look like the two yokai are battling it out. The statue's secret and its true form were lost inside that locked room. For Miss Tenma is the only living soul who should know what it once looked like. So, Mr. LaBelle, where could you have possibly seen the statue in its original form? What do you mean, where? The only possible answer is this. You saw the statue in its original form, right there in the room where the alderman was murdered before it was broken. How dare you? Oh, I do be daring. I be so daring in here. Mr. Justice, are you accusing the witness with some sort of crime? Yes. Yes, I am, actually. Thank you. Yes. Yes, I am. Was it not obvious? Florent LaBelle, I accuse you of the murder of Alderman Rex Kyubi. Yahoo! What you gotta say about all that, punk? Order in the courts! Mr. LaBelle, you've been accused of friggin' murder, bro! Got anything you want to say about that? How could you possibly accuse me, the embodiment of beauty? Way to go, Apollo! This is conclusive evidence we needed. Magnifico! We've got you now. We know you killed the alderman. Now admit it!
Silence!
What? He was all sweaty and stuff. We were doing good. Always gotta be a wrinkle. Enough of your silly games, Justice Dono. This prancing peacock could not possibly be the killer.
Objection!
You wanna tell me when that? What are you talking about? His alibi has already crumbled to dust. And I just proved that he was in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Silence!
Stop telling me to be quiet! Why could he have not seen the statue in its true form before the murder? After all, he was close friends with the alderman. Ergo. Yes, that's right. I clearly remember it now. Alderman Kyubi told me about it. Yeah, let's ignore the fact that he was basically freaking the ever-loving hell out because he thought he got found out. No. He suddenly changed his story. No, man, I always knew it. Why wouldn't I? About what the statue actually looked like. I mean, he was a good friend of mine. Stinky.
Objection!
Yeah, right. He wouldn't show you a secret gift just like that.
Silence.
We can't prove that. Moreover, it has already been proven that he was not present at the scene of the crime. It has? Thunka. Forgotten, have we? Recalled a little scamp statement, if you will. When Jinxie Tenma unlocked the Fox Chamber, she saw the alderman and the mayor collapsed therein, and no one else. Oh. Dang it. God. The fact is, if you two had made that apparent in yesterday's court session, it was you that did that, yes. Thus, Florent LaBelle could not possibly have been in that locked room. Ah, dang it! Why, though? I just don't get it. How could Jinxie not have seen LaBelle? The proof is incontrovertible. No room for debate exists. Am I not right, your baldness? It does seem awfully conclusive. The facts point to the defendant and victim being the only people in that locked room. Moreover, the defendant has already confessed.
Objection!
Come on.
Silence.
I didn't get to say anything! You cannot defend the indefensible. Your role in the charade is over, Justice Dono. But your baldness? This trial would last an eternity if we were to keep crossing blades with these simpletons. You know, being called stupid really does piss me off in a very special way. It's high time you brought down the hammer of justice. A point well made. I believe it's time to declare a verdict. Absolutely hell to the nah. The court finds the defendant, Damien Tenma. Oh boy, here we go. It would seem that my time is at hand! Mayor Tenma? Counselor! There is a matter to which I must testify! I recall it now, only for your good graces! Counselor? Oh, right, he must mean me. Yeah, sure, why not? Does he finally remember what happened before that blow to his head? Bailiff, don't just stand there, seize him! It's no good! I can't restrain him! He's too freaking scary! Know me and despair, for I am Tenmataro, Demon Lord of the Yokai. At least that's what I want people to think. Yeah! Delay the court session, let's go! Mr. Justice, do something. The flying hell do you want me to do? Since when am I responsible for court security? Apollo, this is our chance. We might get some new information out of him. Sure, why not? Your Honor, seeing as our client has something new to say, I believe due process demands that we hear him out, even if he is a yokai. Well, when you put it that way. Still, I believe testimony by a yokai is unprecedented in the legal world. It's so weird how often everyone seems to forget that at one point, we exorcised a demon straight to hell at the witness stand. You were there, Judge. Do you just choose to forget that you saw any of that? Like, it's not that weird. Unprecedented and absurdity, more like. Mayhaps. All right, then, Mr. Damien Tenma, or should I say Mr. Tenmataro, whoever the hell you are. Your testimony, please. I shall now speak of recollections most real, courtesy of my host, Damien Tenma. Heed these words, mortals, for hear them but once you shall. Yeah. I'm a bird. Why are there so many birds in this courtroom? My goodness.